Hello everyone, Johnny Cooper here, and wow, what a snooze fest of a Game Awards. Really nothing to show for. I was expecting big PlayStation announcements like a remake of Sly Cooper, the confirmed Last of Us 1 remake, Metal Gear Solid, or Silent Hill, since Geoff Keighley, the man everyone on Twitter sims for, was saying things like gaming will never be the same after this event, or biggest announcement I've ever seen. Can't wait for y'all to see it. And then the game looks something like this. The good thing that came out of the awards was more Elden Ring and the official trailer for Sonic 2, showing off a redesigned version of Tails, a less bluish Sonic, and the first look at Knock Knock, it's Knuckles, the independent Floa, voiced by Idris Elba, where for the first time since the 90s, Knuckles is no longer a smooth-brained comic relief character, but is in fact back to his first appearance self in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is what they should have called this movie actually, except replace 3 with 2, Sonic 2 and Knuckles. You know, just for the memes, eh? Anyways, it looks great, can't wait to see it, but that's not all we got from Sonic. We get a better look at his next main game, titled Sonic Frontiers, an open world game where, wow, Nintendo really did hire this man. Sega, I mean. The game's environment looks so beautiful and realistic, like, wow, what PlayStation game is this? And then, bam, Sonic, sticking out like a sore thumb. Like, he looks very good during the CGI cutscene, but during the gameplay section, his model looks so off, like it just doesn't belong there, which, by the way, is the same model used in Sonic Forces. Many think it's a placeholder, but nothing confirmed as of now. But I am hoping they do change it to make it look more like Sonic actually does belong in those landscapes. Now, what's the story for this game? Well, thanks to Polygon, we get a brief description of what the story will be about. In Sonic Frontiers, Sonic's longtime nemesis, Dr. Eggman, discovers an ancient technology on the Starfall Islands and installs his AI program Sage to hack in and take over. But there is more to his technology than he realizes, and unintended consequences immediately comes to bear. Sonic must race against time to discover the truth, save his friends, and maybe even save himself at the same time. So not only does Frontiers remind us of Breath of the Wild, it looks like the enemies are also inspired from that game. Ancient technology being awakened, like how the enemies get woken up and the towers you activate in Breath of the Wild, which looks like you also do in this game, which we'll talk about in a little bit actually. So Eggman installs his own program to these ancient technology beings, which are the ones chasing Sonic in the CGI trailer, but they end up betraying him and gain their own conscience. The leader of the ancient tech gets them under his control and is the main antagonist of this game, who we see a glimpse at the end of the trailer, but you know, it could also just be a boss battle, but you know, I mean, you usually save up the main antagonist during the ending of a trailer, you know, so that's why I guess it's the main antagonist. The game's director will be Morio Kishimoto, the man who directed both Sonic Lost World and Sonic Forces, two very controversial games in the Sonic community. But here's the big savior, the big deal. This one will make every comic book Sonic fan wet their pants. Ian Flynn, the lead writer of IDW Sonic the Hedgehog comic book series and former head writer of the Archie's comic Sonic run, is the one writing Sonic Frontiers story. Sega is finally listening to the community after the disaster of not only Sonic Forces' gameplay, but its story. They had no idea what to do with its characters, one example being Tails acting so out of character. But now it seems like they'll be improving the story and writing by bringing in some good writers that know the ins and outs of the Sonic lore, and who better than Ian Flynn? I've read some of the comics as a kid and was amazed of how good Sonic stories can be, and now with the lead writer of the comics writing this game, it will bring Sonic to new heights in terms of storytelling. Hopefully Sega doesn't interfere as it's happened before with other companies. Now that we got the story synopsis, let's analyze the trailer and point out some interesting things you might or might not have missed. During the Sonic Team logo, we see these ancient looking symbols surrounding it, exactly like how the story synopsis is. We are introduced to this this beautiful CGI reminding everyone of Unleashed, where we see Sonic running through a forest from these futuristic tech drones. Most definitely the ancient tech that Eggman hacked and will eventually turn on him. We hear a voice talking to Sonic saying, "Sonic, over here." People were speculating it was the ghost from Unleashed because of a leak that got everything right with Frontiers, but the caption in the official trailer says it's Amy who's saying the line. Amy does sound different, and that's because she'll have a new voice actor since the other one left the role last year ago. Now it looks like she's communicating with Sonic spiritually, with some people thinking Amy becomes a ghost and accompanies Sonic throughout the game, or it's probably some new ability that Sonic can do, since we do see him do his new power up next. The drones seem to explode, which could give Sonic some limited boost or powers, or he just outran the explosion. What do you guys think this part means? We then see the sea surrounding the island as Sonic turns around and looks surprised by how he's finally getting a good game. We then see this little door / gate that leads to a new land. Now I think you have to do something first to unlock it, like beat a boss battle, in order to go through new territory and proceed with the story. We see a little tower that we need to activate, is similar to Breath of the Wild and Ubisoft games. Puddles surrounded by the forest, similar to the one Sonic was speeding through in the CGI part of the trailer. We get to the part where Sega employed the man that Nintendo couldn't, where once again, this is the Sonic Forces model that I hope they change in the final product to make him fit more with the game, because Sonic does not look like he belongs there. We see the whole island that we can explore through, with one of those ancient towers all the way in the back, an Illuminati ship floating, a triangle building, one of those loops we can run through, and a closer shot of those ancient Activision tower. Activation tower, I mean, oh my god, Activision, holy fuck. Have y'all heard what happened to those guys? We get a shot of the waterfall landscapes. We see this little thing with a hole in it, which we need to activate or put something in it, since the next shot we see another one of those with a red orb in it. Now I'm wondering, how are we gonna get there since it's surrounded by the sea? Perhaps a teleportation system? We get a shot of nighttime with a futuristic bridge, probably Eggman's, a shot of the sunset surrounded by red flowers, and what looks to be a grind rail. And two platforms we could probably go inside on. We get a shot of the loops we'll run through and into the Illuminati buildings, a detailed look at the activation tower, and then Sonic meeting an enemy or the main antagonist of the game. Now there was a leak way before that describes the boss enemies as skyscraper sized, which now seeing it, yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense. Now we see some red glowing lights going through him, and some people have speculated it could be a continuation of the Phantom Ruby story, which I do hope they do since it was left unresolved in Sonic Mania Plus. With Infinite returning, and Flynn could finally redeem Infinite's story mess that was that in Sonic Forces. The website for Sonic Frontiers is now up with a brief description of the game that I will read right now. Worlds will collide in Sonic the Hedgehog's new adventure. An experience like never before. Exhilarate to new heights and experience the thrill of high velocity open zone freedom. Battle powerful enemies as you speed through the Starfall Islands, landscapes brimming with dense forest, overflowing waterfalls, and sizzling deserts, and more. This holiday 2022, speed into new realms. We get 3 landscape descriptions: dense forest, which we see in the CGI trailer, overflowing waterfalls, desert, and more inside this one big location called Starfall Islands. We have yet to see the desert one, but we do get to see the waterfall landscapes in the trailer and a good looking screenshot, and man, it looks so good. I haven't been excited for a Sonic game since Generations, and that was when I was in elementary. I'm now in college, so you know, this gotta say something. The trees and water look very well done and realistic. It really changes the way a Sonic game is. Reminds me of how realistic Sonic 06's environment and character models were, but improving on that concept, which leads me to wonder if they'll bring back humans into this game. We do get more screenshot stills of another landscape, which from the looks of it, all these are the same landscape but different locations. We have one of a land surrounded by flowers and some statue loops that we're supposed to run inside in. We get another one with the sunset going down, town and those loops leading to a abandoned location. This confirms that we'll be getting a day and night cycle, which, I mean, it's pretty obvious since it's open world. We see a good look at the activation tower surrounded by a pit hole with 2 ways to go around it. We also get a good look at that grass. We get another screenshot of the inside of one of those abandoned buildings, another one of the outside of it, looking very Illuminati-like, and another pyramid on top of it. Probably a beacon you have to activate. I honestly think that these stills are way more beautiful than what I saw in the trailer. We've basically got everything covered for the game, but what if I told you that leaks from months and even years before got everything right about Sonic Frontiers? We'll go over what it got right and see what else we can expect from the game according to those leaks. Back in 2019, a leaker on 4chan talked about a Sonic open world game being in development, with screenshots he provided from the leak saying, Concept E, action adventure, 1 player, no multiplayer, a world unexplored, a new free roaming action/adventure game that propels the Sonic franchise in a bold new direction. The evil Dr. Eggman has created an amazing AI entity that has spiraled out of control. Meanwhile, Sonic wakes up groggy and suffering from amnesia, with questions, and then, we don't get to see what else it says. The Sonic universe characters you love, 4 exotic islands to explore, skyscraper-sized Titan boss battles, adventure through vast terrains and explore the Starfall Islands, new close combat system, and unique powerful moves to take down enemies. Go Supersonic mode to battle massive skyscraper-sized enemy titans, straighten skills to level up Sonic's abilities, solve puzzles, and embark on quests across 4 exotic islands, and hidden, and we don't get to see what else it says, thrilling graphics, cinematic music, and immersive atmosphere to and then, we don't get to see what else it says. That same year, a survey from Sega was sent out to him asking people like him what they should title the next Sonic installment, those names being Sonic the Hedgehog Rise of the Titans, Sonic Starfall, Sonic Freedom, Sonic Freerunner, Sonic Rising, Sonic Evolution, Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog Titans Rising. Sonic Titans, huh? Heard that one before, and the fans were not happy with the product. But back to the 4chan leak. The leaker got the free roaming open world part right. The story description also fits very well with the official one, except Dr. Eggman doesn't create an AI entity, he hacks it, and then it betrays him. We get other characters besides Sonic, which, I mean, duh, but, hopefully when it means Sonic Universe characters, it means obscure characters like Fang the Sniper, Scourge, Mephios, or even Chip again. The leak says 4 exotic islands. So far we only get a description of 3, 2 which sound very familiar, which, could be the same, so we might have 2 we have yet to see. And the skyscraper-sized Titan bosses sound a lot like the enemy we saw at the end of the trailer. Adventure through vast terrains and explore the Starfall Islands. Wait. What? That's what the location is called on the official website, and the leak was made in 2019. You see, this is all coming together. And not only that, looking back at the survey, it says Sonic Starfalls. So, all this is connected. A new close combat system is made, which will be interesting to see how that turns out and divides the Sonic community, since it looks like it could be another Sonic Unleashed Werehog situation or Sonic Boom. And it looks like we use Supersonic during every battle with a skyscraper-sized Titans, so the Chaos Emeralds will be used very early in the game. I think it's the first time. We level up in the game, solve puzzles, and do quests through these 4 islands. Now that's reminding me a lot like Breath of the Wild, which is very good, it won Game of the Year, I think. And it's one of the best games ever made. I know. I already hear people saying, but Johnny, not every open world is Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I know, but I mean, this game clearly is heavily inspired by that game. Ancient tech, grass landscapes, open world, quests, puzzles, leveling up, I mean, bruh. That same leaker also leaked Super Mario Odyssey 2, with the leak saying, Super Mario Odyssey 2, Concept F, action adventure, 1 through 2 players, local and online co-op. The second act. Explore even more bizarre and beautiful landscapes as you discover, capture, and control new enemies. Join forces with new and old familiar friends as you battle against Bowser and his loyal Goombas. Mario and Cappy head off on another adventure, but this time Luigi, along with Cappy's best friend, Bowler, have also decided to join the party. playing with a friend is even more fun with new interactions between Cappy, take off on the newly remodeled Odyssey to explore new corners of the universe, Paint to customize and upgrade your Odyssey as you progress. Cappy isn't the only sidekick that will help you along your quest. Yoshi and others will join your party. 20 distinct locations are filled with hundreds of new puzzles, creatures, enemies, and I'm guessing it says and more. Hundreds of new side quests that offer up over 100 of hours of additional content, and we don't get to see what's rest. Wow. Game of the year already, and I believe him. He leaked everything right about Sonic Frontiers, and it's about time that we get a new Mario installment. I'm expecting Nintendo to reveal it during E3 2022 or earlier during a Nintendo Direct. He also leaked the online multiplayer Sonic game with the image saying Concept K, online multiplayer, a world unexplored. Okay, so there's some things that are cut off, so I'm not going to be able to say the full sentence. Sonic the Hedgehog and team up, team as you race your way through a stylized world, compete online against strangers as you combat dozens of new enemies encountered before, Sonic and your team to join forces against Dr. Eggman's evil villains, powerful gadgets that enhance your power, speed, and health, weekly rankings with a new supersonic ranking system, win special skins for characters, run through the rolling ruined landscape as modern Sonic, and catapult past perilous platforms and we don't get to see what's rest, with old friends such as Knuckles and Tails to combat over 100 new enemies and over 12 new something harder than ever. Play as 3 brand new characters, Bobo, Cosmos, and Spinner, each with their own unique abilities. And no, I don't think that's Cosmo from Sonic 06. We get gadgets, we get to pick our own team of players, earn skins, we fight new enemies and have new characters on our sides, and fight old enemies as well from the looks of it. And seeing as how they say modern Sonic specifically, it implies that classic Sonic will be in the game. This looks like an attempt to jump into the Battle Royale trend, just like how Crash is trying to do at the moment, but not much info is shown besides this leak that is given. That it does remind me a lot of Crash on the Run, where it has a ranking system and you get to form a team and race with strangers while also fighting villains from previous games while earning new skins. I'd say next year we might get an announcement or the game was changed as a feature for Sonic Frontiers as a separate section of the game, to sell the game for people who are more into multiplayers and also happen to be big fans of Sonic the Hedgehog. But I will love for the online game setting to be set in the open world environment that is established in Frontiers, so hopefully it is included in Sonic Frontiers as it will be a lot of fun to play with friends. The next leak was in January of this year, like 1 year later, I guess. That confirms a lot of what we saw in the trailers and the leak from 2019, with the post saying, did a focus test for a new Sonic the Hedgehog game called Sonic Rangers, which is an open world adventure game which takes heavily inspiration from Breath of the Wild, did 2 demos, a 20-minute long exploration of the open world, and a final question mark boss battle. An open world is populated with small enemies, puzzles, and platforming challenges. Completing puzzles, challenges, enemies rewards EXP, which can be redeemed in a skill tree. Skill tree unlocks abilities like the spin cycle, where when you hold Y, Sonic starts tracing a line behind them, and if you finish a circle, it attacks all enemies inside the circle. Lock-on attack returns. There are bosses spread throughout the open world. Defeating them grants orbs. So remember that sort of small tower that had a hole in it where you have to put a red orb like that other one that we saw? Yeah. This is connecting to that link. Crazy, right? If you get enough orbs, you can go to a portal and go to cyberspace. Cyberspace levels are generation style and the music goes hard. Beating them fast enough grants Chaos Emeralds. Exploration and combat was super boring, very button mashy, but whatever. New voice acting by Roger and no one else was present, so there's definitely sticking to the general theme at least. Now for the final, I think, boss. After gathering all the Chaos Emeralds, you can then cut through a thick fog you couldn't see before in the open world. Gigantic tree boss thing is the boss, fly around it as Supersonic utilizing spin cycle and other abilities, mainly mashing buttons, can't take damage. On a timer of rings, a ghost girl refills your ring count multiple times. Demo ended after defeating the boss. Game is still definitely in early development, but it was rough. Not a fun time from what I played. Now, remember that other leak that mentioned skyscraper-sized enemies? I'm thinking that this guy got that confused confused since, cause skyscraper size enemies, that's gotta remind you of a final boss, which I won't blame this guy for thinking this is a final boss battle. But I think it's just one of those 4 Titan boss battles I was talking about. So in the same thread, some guy says, so another Ass Creed clone, and the guy replies saying, no, it wasn't like an Ubisoft game. Think Breath of the Wild, but shrines are just puzzles around the map, not a separate building, and there's nothing to do. Also, I forgot to mention in the post that there are Korok ripoffs that are little rocks, and I'm surprised I forgot because whenever you find them, they follow Sonic and make the most fucking annoying little twinkling sound every time you ran. Wanted to blow my brains out. You give them to this big rock guy at the top of a Ubisoft tower. There's only one though, it had grind rails. Grind rails? Isn't that the thing we just spot on the trailer? I'm a sucker for big, boring open world games and Sonic. Do you think I will enjoy this game? And the guy responds saying, it depends on what you're into, and obviously people's tastes are different, but the combat, puzzles, and platforming were all pretty uninteresting. From the demo, the sense of exploration was not there at all. Given that, it was a focus test. However, they're testing the waters of what people think and they'll adjust around that. Looking back on it, it reminded me of that of Mario in real life, like the Unreal Engine 4 demo on YouTube, which, oh my god, what the fuck? That's exactly what I talked about. That's what we talked about during the beginning of the video. Literally, we made a joke about, that Nintendo hire this man meme. As I was writing this script, I found this leak, so I'm surprised all this actually does end up actually fucking connecting. I have low expectations, but they have the time to do something about it. Thought the actual idea for the game isn't that fun, both on paper and in execution. Too long, didn't read, wait for the official announcements. A lot can be changed from now till then, and nothing is final. And then there was another 4chan leak back in August 6, 2020, where somebody says, it's not an adventure remake, I playtested it. They are working on something, but if they take the feedback me and other players gave them, Sega might change quite a bit from what I ended up playing. Screen cap this or just keep things in mind, because here's the gist of what I played. Open world, set on a gloomy, grassy, uninhabited island dotted with ruins, big Breath of the Wild influence, little Korok-like puzzles scattered everywhere, robot/alien bosses scattered throughout the island, defeat them and you get a Chaos Emerald. Get all the Chaos Emeralds and you gain entrance to the final boss area, a foggy forest you couldn't enter before. No major characters appeared aside from Sonic, no story, just dumped in. Turn Super Sonic to fight the boss, he's a gigantic colossus-like entity that you climb, hit his weak points, and defeat. Infinite's theme plays during this. These could all be changed because I played this a couple months ago and there still hasn't been anything revealed, so I assume they might be reworking on it a lot. But that's what I played. Believe me or not, you'll know for sure when it gets revealed. I mean, if it does. And wow, all this becomes accurate. And here's the thing, not a lot of people believe the 2019 4chan leak. So somebody saying the same thing a year later is believable. Now here's the last leak, which was made after the first trailer came out in May, with the post reading, here's the leak about Sonic Frontiers. I focus tested this shit last year, so yeah, here we go. Shit was rough, but hey, it's Sonic team, so not surprised. LMAO, open world game, woo, Ubisoft towers with annoying ass Korok ripoffs. The story revolves around a human/ghost girl thing, enemies, puzzles, bosses sprinkled throughout the world, beat puzzles to get orbs, use orbs to unlock portals, something we just talked about. Portals lead to Unleashed style levels, best part of the game, LMAO. Beat Unleashed style levels to get level ups, XP system with skill tree. Circle thing in the trailer is Sonic's signature move in the game called the spin cycle. You hold Y and run in a circle around enemies to attack them, lol. Battling is boring, mash X to win. Open world unlocks over time with Ubisoft towers. Boss battles are stupid easy, music and Unleashed levels slapped, but open world graphics/music was underwhelming. We played on pretty good PCs. And that is that, and that one was very similar to the 2019 one. Interesting how we also get a Ghost Girl story included in here with, both leaks stating that. I remember people thinking it might be the same Ghost Girl from Sonic Unleashed, since this game is made by the same people if I'm not mistaken, with many people thinking it was the same voice we heard in the trailer talking to Sonic, but it was confirmed to be Amy's, unless Amy dies and becomes a ghost herself. And that's basically all we have for the video. There was a lot we covered in it, and I'm more than happy to cover more Sonic Frontier content if the viewers are eager to see more. With everything we've seen today, I have faith in the Sonic franchise once again and cannot wait to try out this new installment that will hopefully bring modern Sonic to where he once was. What are your thoughts on the story synopsis? Excited for Ian Flynn writing the story? What is something you can't wait to see from those leaks being brought to the game or stuff that aren't there yet? Thoughts on Odyssey 2? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Johnny Cooper 64 is signing off. Have a good one. Peace.